Grab your popcorn, rip that ticket, get in that seat, lickety splicket. Go watch a movie.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Go Watch a Movie, episode 165. I'm Kelvin.
And I'm Robert.
Put on your balls, world. We're going to Willy's. That's right. Willy's Wonderland is what we're doing today. I've been seeing a lot of other reviews for this, and rightfully so. It's Cage being Cage, but we'll get into that. But first, a little bit of entertainment news. Remember that little movie, I guess big movie at the time, caused a worldwide divorce and breakup, very public and all that stuff. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie. Well, it's becoming a TV series. Here, why not? Everything else is becoming a TV series.
Why not?
They're going to stretch out the whole we meet and get married thing, but it's going to be Donald Glover, Mr. This Is America, and Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
Oh, okay, Phoebe.
Yeah. Either way, so we are getting together to do a TV adaptation of Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I enjoyed the movie. I know a lot of people didn't. I thought it was fun. I thought it was not edgy, but just a cool idea that I hadn't seen before. Husband and wife set out to kill each other, and husband and wife, because they were married when they were assigned to kill each other, and because they didn't know each other were spies. Great idea. Though I would like to see something new. I'm interested to see if they do. I'm interested to see if they have a different new take on this. There's not a lot of ways you can go, but we'll see. What do you think about it?
Yeah, not all that interested, to be honest. I mean, Glover's cool, but
you don't like America?
Yeah. Yeah. Just not in love.
That song has nothing to do with this show, but
no. It's a crazy song. I like the dancing in it.
Hey, hey.
It is watchable. I will admit, I've watched it several times.
Yeah, it makes me move my hips and think about the world. So, moving on here to some not so fun news.
Oh.
Controversial news. Gina Carano, I think I said her last name right. Maybe not. Cara Dune of The Mandalorian has been canceled. That's right. The internet won again because of some comments she made on Instagram and Twitter. I'm not going to repeat those comments here. They're out there in the story on GoWatchMovie.com. You can check those out. But they got her fired from The Mandalorian show. And a lot of other things that went down because of that. She said she's fine. She's fine with the idea. And she also said she found out the same way we all found out on social media, which is insane to me. Like you're reading social media, next thing you know, I've been fired. What? Let me call my agent. But it's the comments. So in this very political charged day and age we're in, she didn't make any death threats. She didn't do anything like that. So they were disrespectful to one side, and I'm not taking that side here, but they were disrespectful to one side. So I don't know if they married a fire, especially with Disney going through the James Gunn thing. I really thought they would be a little less quick to pull the trigger on these sort of things. But what do you think, man?
I mean, we don't have control over this stuff. I mean, they're going to stick to their brand. Like it's Disney. They're not going to let anything slip by. I don't think so. People who are doing work for Disney should know that and should probably watch what they say. Everyone's like free speech, but yeah, it is. But at the same time,
not Disney, with the mouse.
Yeah, not with the mouse. The mouse can fire you whenever he wants to. So
you're fired.
If you value your job and you're working for Disney, then I guess keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, it's a very touchy subject. Like I said, though, they went. I don't know how much crawling they did, but they did crawl back to James Gunn after firing him. So who knows, if there's enough of a uproar like there was with him, she may be back because there's already a lot of people, pretty upset that she's gone. There are some people who are happy she's gone because they were offended by her comments. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I just, me being me, and the people who listen to this podcast know who I am. Continuity of the show. Mm-hmm. I don't want to see some new lady as her, and they're like,
I think they should just cut out the character.
Yeah, I think so too, because she's away enough to not be that pivotal.
That's what I would assume they would. That's what I'm assuming they're going to do is just completely cut the character.
They pop up and
they can't just throw somebody else in there.
It's like she's a failed clone. She went through the Stormtrooper clone program. It didn't quite work. That's why she looks different. Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah, but that is entertainment news. Those stories and more can be found on GoWatchAMovie.com. That'll bring us to trailers. You first or me, sir?
I'll go right ahead.
Well, I'm cheating today. Mine actually isn't a movie trailer. Mine is a commercial, but it has something to do with movies. I don't know if you've seen this commercial yet, but the Gremlins have made a comeback, and it is in the form of a Mountain Dew commercial. Gizmo and Billy make an appearance. Billy from the first show, Gizmo from both. Billy's looking older, and they actually kind of make Gizmo look older, which I thought was interesting. I don't remember him talking as much as he does in this commercial.
Maybe he's learned. Maybe he's learned to talk more over the years.
Yeah, that's true. But Billy's like, this is delicious. This is delicious. And Gizmo like, taste. You want to taste it? And he's like, yeah, here you go. Just be careful. And Gizmo proceeds to Cookie Monster it all over his face, gets wet, and starts popping out gremlins. But the funniest thing about this is when he's laying on his back, popping out gremlins, he's like, yummy every time a gremlin pops out of his back.
I cannot wait to see this.
So funny. I'm like, what is it? It might be Tasty, actually, that he shouts as he's laying there. Tasty! The gremlin fall on his back. It's so weird. And then, I'm assuming his daughter, some girl playing his daughter comes out, actually, and Spike's sitting on her shoulder. And she's like, okay, this whole little stun look. But it's funny, it's entertaining, and, there are talks of Gremlin 3 actually happening, so we'll see how that works. What about yours?
Well, I don't know if I can top that one now, because that was pretty entertaining. Mine is called A Writer's Odyssey. I don't know if you've seen this one or not, but it looks pretty darn amazing. It's basically this guy is writing a novel, right? And so you don't know if you're seeing and then there's this other world besides his world. So you don't know if you're actually seeing the other world, which is actually his novel, or if he's transporting into another world. There's two parallel worlds interacting with each other with similar characters. And it's basically, it's him writing something. So you assume you're just seeing the story that he's writing, but that story is also affecting him in the real world. So it's back and forth, crazy, epic, fantasy looking thing with a bunch of fighting and crazy creatures and gods and monsters and all this amazing stuff. It's hard to explain, but it looks fantastic. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. I think this is going to be a rare treat for us, especially if you're a fan of any kind of fantasy or sci-fi.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm watching it now, and it's wow.
Yeah.
It is dubbed which is fine
Yes.
for me. But I know some people that turns them away. But
We'll probably get an English language version of that for all those who don't like to read. But I still think it looks, just visually, it looks fantastic.
Holy cow, you're right. It does. And I'm watching it with the sound off. Good Lord. Yeah. And it's like he's creating the journey as he writes it or something. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's confusing, but at the same time, it's intriguing. So you wanna dive into it and learn more.
Writer's Odyssey. Awesome.
And I like that idea too. Someone writing something and having that thing that they're writing affect them somehow, and going back and forth. And is it a real world, or is it just something he's making up? It could be a parallel universe, multiple thing going. I don't know. It just looks cool.
I'm gonna start writing the porn with Angelina Jolie right now.
Yeah. She just perked up. She's like, "Did someone just say my name?" So you're already affected her.
Oh yeah. That'll bring us to Willy's Wonderland. Watchbot, if you would not mind.
When his car breaks down, a quiet loner agrees to clean an abandoned family fun center in exchange for repairs. He soon finds himself waging war against possessed animatronic mascots while trapped inside Willy's Wonderland.
Thank you, Watchbot. Once in a generation, there comes an actor or actress. I think they prefer to be called actors now, even though they're actresses. That makes his or her mark. And I think Nicolas Cage has more than done that, but he just double stamped that son of a bitch with this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he doesn't say a word in the entire film.
He grunts once.
And he goes, ah. But dear Lord, like these kind of movies where you can just let go and have fun and they're perfect. Like we had, Psycho Gorman a couple weeks ago, and now this. I just love this kind of stuff. This felt like that same '80s feel to it, but I enjoyed it. What were your first takes on this?
I don't know if I would compare it to Psycho Gorman. I think that's in a league of its own for me. I'm such a huge fan of that right now. This one, actually, if it wasn't for Cage, I got to say Cage is what held this movie together for me.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Outside of that, I hate to say it, but there is some, it is kind of mediocre. It's not over the top. Not that I think I went into it not listening to my own advice about going into movies and expecting too much, because I expected way too much out of this. I knew Cage was going to be in it, so I knew I was going to love part of it already. But then I didn't get the explosive, like, craziness and zaniness and whatnot that I was looking for. I think it was too tame. I think they I don't even know what it's rated. I don't even think it's rated. Like, it must be PG-13. It didn't feel like it was rated R. I mean, the blood wasn't blood; it was black. So they could get away with get away from the R rating with that. But I don't know. It just felt really tame, and I guess I felt disappointed, even though Cage's dialogueless performance was a treat to behold, to say the least. I just wanted more from the rest of it. I wanted more. The kids, if you can call them kids, teenagers, or 20-something-year-olds, whatever they were.
Oh yeah, they're definitely 20-somethings.
Most of them were just fodder for murder and mayhem. That's it. It's just they were just there to get killed. There was no emotional connection, no interest in them whatsoever. I don't know. I feel like there was a movie. It was called the Banana Splits movie. Mm-hmm. Very similar to this one. Not exactly the same whatsoever, but very similar. It's got the same animatronic, kid-friendly murdering things. And it I don't know. It felt kind of like that. And I don't know if that was made for Sci-Fi Channel, but it felt like it was made for the Sci-Fi Channel. And this one, I feel like it's going to be safe to be aired on the Sci-Fi Channel sometime soon, because it has that same safe feel. And that's the word I guess I'm going to keep saying the entire episode is safe. It felt safe. I don't think they went where they needed to go.
A woman did get halved.
Yeah, but it was still weak. I mean, I'm not saying these things need actual blood and gore. I'm not saying they need boobage. I'm not saying any of that stuff. It just needed.
Let me interject. They do.
Sometimes it doesn't improve a movie. However, in this case, I think it would have been improved with more creepiness. And they had such a great idea. You had Willy's Wonderland. Let's go into spoiler territory. We got all these crazy, psycho type guys who decide to go work at this one place. So the one guy who runs it brings all these psychos in and these crazy people. And then they all perform this ritual where they die, and then they get their souls go into all these little animatronic, kid-friendly creatures. Great concept. You think that they would be able to take that somewhere really super dark and scary, but they didn't. They just felt like this was made for like some guy who's a fan of Nick Cage, but has kids and wants to watch some movie with his kids. Because it wasn't that bad. You know what I mean? It wasn't bad, and it wasn't like it didn't go there. It didn't go the extra step that I thought they were going to go. I think Banana Splits got a hold of the whole safe thing. I think this one should have taken it one step further instead of just doing the same thing that Banana Splits movie did.
I just want to say I agree with a lot of that. I want to say though, I wasn't saying this one was on par with Psycho Goreman. It just gave me that same fun vibe.
Yes, it does.
Psycho Goreman so far is still my number one movie of the year.
Yes, absolutely mine. And it does have a very fun feel. Don't get me wrong, I was entertained by this movie. I just was expecting them to go to a darker place than they did. And I feel like the opportunity was a missed one because I had just watched the Banana Splits movie, and we were just talking about dueling movies, right? It just felt like that. It just felt like the same movie being made with some different characters and some different actors, and they could have they could have separated themselves somehow.
You think the dialogue is Cage's dialogue is what was missing for you? Because
not at all. I actually liked that he didn't talk. I actually liked that he just went off of his looks and his his mannerisms. Let me ask you a question. When he started dancing, were you dancing along with him?
Like football?
Yes, I was there. I'm just saying. Were you dancing with him? I was dancing with him.
His initial look threw me off because he gets this little look and he starts shaking his head all weird. I'm like, what's happening now? Wait a second. But the janitor, as Cage plays, just a silent wonder. By far the best part of this movie. You wait for him to get back on the screen, because I will agree with what Robert said. Everyone else is pretty lackluster. The kids are just fucking jelly beans for these creatures. They're just tossed in there to be eaten up. And they tried to give them personality, but I don't think they were performed well enough. I don't know.
For the type of movie that they were in, it was okay. It's just they didn't give it enough time to develop, and they just like hinted at this was this and this was that, and then all of a sudden, guess what? They're dead. Yeah, pretty much all at once too. It just happened so quick. I don't know.
I felt like we were getting a love interest developed there, but then all of a sudden it's over with, and then
nothing like being murdered by an animatronic creature to end a romance. That's it can only be so easy.
I wish. Hey, fat boy, you want to fuck? There was some great lines in here that I felt came straight from some 80s cyborg movie. I'm gonna devour your face. And then I just love watching Cage be Cage. And I'm so happy that we still get him, doing these types of movies, because I don't think he needs to anymore. He got out of his IRS trouble, but I think he just has fun. I
think he enjoys working. I think he actually enjoys making movies. That's just I think it's a passion for him.
Like him and Jackson, bro.
Yeah, I don't think it's a financial thing anymore. Maybe
not anymore. It was during that whole tax stuff. He almost went the way of Blade.
Yes.
Wesley Snipes. Yeah. Yep. For a second, but he was able to he just started taking every role. Like if you guys look back in the history of Cage, there's a point where he had 30 movies in 1 year. Mm-hmm. And I may be exaggerating a smidge, but there was a shit ton of movies in that 1 year. And that was to pay off his tax issues, which was smart on his part,
I mean, he's a hardworking man. You can't deny that.
So yeah, it's fantastic. But I just loved, like I said, him and the whole vibe when he's fighting these monsters is my favorite parts of this movie, and the breaks.
Yes.
I don't get it. They're unexplained. They never say anything about it, but they are amazing.
Yeah, the guy told him it's important to take breaks.
And I just was hoping, I was sitting there praying, like, please let him take a break while somebody's getting killed. I need to see this. And it happened, and I was so delighted.
Yep.
Beep, 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 beep. Time to go get a punch.
Yep. And why the punch?
Here's what I came up with. That brand of energy drink funded this movie. That's all I can think of.
Good thought.
Let me see if that's a real drink.
Yes. My favorite thing, a couple of my favorite things out of the movie, besides Cage, were the unanswered questions, because I feel like there were a lot of unanswered questions in this. Yeah. For instance, and again, it's huge spoiler territory if you didn't already guess that. Like Liv's character, like why was she spared when her family hoodwinked into that Willy's Wonderland? Like why, out of all the people, was she the one that was spared? That makes me wonder if there's something dark about her, or if there's something, maybe there's something going on there. You know what I mean? Because why would they spare her? And they can clearly leave that place. Yeah. So they could have got her anytime they wanted, but they didn't. So that really intrigues me. And then Cage's character, I don't think the janitor. I love that you don't know he's a janitor until the end of the movie when you see the credits, and it's like that's what he was. He's a janitor. I like that. I like his unanswered question because you don't really know who he is. He is a janitor, but you think he could be like the janitor for God or something. He could be like this holy fighter that just travels the world. I don't think he ended up there by chance. I think he was going there on purpose, and then because he had a mission from
he's
wherever.
Like a fucking janitor Ghostbuster.
Yeah, he's like a Constantine type character. He just goes and he takes out dark spirits and whatever. So I like that idea. That's where my imagination goes anyway. Who knows what they actually wanted him to be when they wrote it, but that's where my imagination goes, and I kind of appreciate that they didn't answer that question. So that my mind.
Violent silence until he wins the world of all evil.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ooh, that's even better. That's even better. Good one.
I love there are certain scenes like when he first busts his tires and he gets out and he just stands there in front of the car until the sun sets, like literally all day.
There's a shadow moves from one side to the other. And that's what makes me think he went there on purpose. Because he didn't call anybody because he doesn't talk.
Right? Yeah.
He doesn't talk, so he didn't call anybody.
He just waited for that fucking talk. Because he knew it was coming.
That's a holy warrior right there.
That's a bingo. We got this song. He didn't know that fucker was coming. This fucker knew. He came there to fuck this shit up. Yep. But that does go against, if that's the case, then why did he let so many people die and didn't care?
Hey, sometimes people are gonna die. What are you gonna do? He was there to clean house.
I could gasp for the Lord.
That's right.
Oh, shit. Yeah,
I wish there were more wicked weapons or something. I don't know what it is about the movie. I just wanted more. Like he tapes two broken sticks together, and that's his weapon for the end of the movie.
And a bag of punch.
And a bag of punch. And a burlap bag. Granted, that's a great weapon, but still, I mean, I wanted him to run out of there with a chainsaw or something, you know what I mean? Just something crazy to really pump the movie up and take it to that Cage level. I wanted him to go full Cage,
and give us sequel chills, like maybe he'll use that in the next movie. Because I would like to see the adventure of the janitor, but I don't want to see a burlap sack. And I guess that was his burlap sack from the beginning. But, man, yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, and that was a sweet car. It was probably like a car commercial at the beginning of the movie, though.
Yeah.
It felt very much like a car commercial. I'm like, well, this is a nice car commercial we're watching. But who doesn't like a Camaro?
Hey there, big guy. You want a menage a trois? Did you see his face during that part? When he gears up to go at him? Mm-hmm. His head goes, he just starts nodding his head, and they just kind of do this weird warp thing. I was like, what is happening? If you see this movie, go back and watch that part where he fights the two lady ones. Right before he fights, he just does this weird, yeah, without saying yeah, but Cage was saying yeah, let's get crazy. Oh man, this fucking guy. What do you think of the Chucky robots? Because they were exactly Chucky robots.
Yeah, it's again, I don't think they had enough character to them or something, or originality or something. They just seemed too kiddie. I understand that's the point. That's what they were, and they were trying to mix that safe feeling with scary. But I just never got scary or horror. I just got safe and goofy. But I'm thinking, but there's Cage. You guys can go crazy with this, but they didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But, yeah, and I guess I wonder what the budget of this fucking was, because I think they should have went a little bit more crazy with what the animals were, like done some. I guess they tried to, because he, when he was fighting the gorilla, when he threw it into the wall, it was like literally crushing fucking walls as it hit. Mm-hmm. The alligator did kill people in a pool. Haha, I get it.
Yeah, I mean, Willy was kind of the weakest one. I'm not the weakest, but he didn't have as much like character or charisma or anything. He was just like, he just stood there the whole movie. Yeah. The whole movie. Then all of a sudden he's just slashing, at him, and then he dies. So it's like, okay, what was so great about Willy? It's called Willy's Wonderland. You think Willy would be more exciting, more something?
Mm-hmm.
And they stole a line.
Some songs.
I don't know if The Watchmen was the first time they used this line where you're like, you're not locked in here with them, they're locked in here with me. They stole that for this movie. I don't know if that's the first time. If it
wasn't the first time, it's the most notable. When Rorschach screams out in the prison.
Yes. I love that scene. I love it. I just love it to death. But then they use it in this. I was kind of like, oh, you guys stole that. Come on.
And her delivery of it was just trash.
Yeah.
And she gets dragged. They're not locked in here. Shit, I flipped my line. Keep going. They're locked in here.
Some of the acting wasn't all that great, I will admit. No. Cage did awesome.
Yeah, it was just facial expressions.
Yes.
Like when he's on point, even when when Cage cages, it's amazing to watch for other reasons. But the man is a talented actor. We can't forget that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's just what the old Rotten Tomatoes say about this one, sir?
Rotten Tomatoes says the tomato meter is a 59% a green splat. However, audience score is an 80%.
Oh, yeah.
So the audience is loving it. Actually, the tomato meter dropped today. It was actually at 63 this morning, and it went down to 59. And I found
critics.
I found it interesting that it was at 63, though. I wish it still was, because the Banana Splits movie is at 63. So they almost have the same. They almost have the same. They had the same rating for a second. Now, the Banana Splits movie is apparently ahead with the critics. However, the audience score on that one is a 50%. So the audience isn't feeling that one.
Gotcha.
It's because it doesn't have Cage.
Yeah, Cage.
Cage gets you an instant 30%, apparently.
I'm going to go ahead and say go watch for me. I think it's an enjoyable, fun movie. I do, like I said, I do agree with a lot of the things that Robert said about it, but I still had fun watching it. Cage kept me hooked. What can I say? What about you?
Yeah, I say if you are a Cage fan like we are, and you lower your expectations, definitely go watch it. If not, stay away because you will probably be disappointed.
Yeah, I cannot argue with that. So yeah, let us know what you thought of this film in the comments on any of the socials, or shoot an email or whatever you like. And that's everything. Where you can find us at gowatchamovie.com, the one-stop shop for all things entertainment. The news stories are there. I'll get Robert's trailer up there. I'm not going to put the commercial on there. You guys can find that link commercial yourself. And you can find the podcast anywhere a podcast can be played, and on the website. And that is everything. Want to end this with a song. Hey kids, you know what time it is? It's birthday time. It's your birthday and we want you to have fun. It's your birthday, so let's party, everyone. That's all I got. Go watch it.
Grab your popcorn,
Fun
rip
stuff.
that ticket. Get in that seat, lickety split it. Go watch a movie.